G'day viewers, my name's Graham Stevenson and I'd like to invite you to come on a journey of creativity and learning and adventure through the series Colour in Your Life. There's an artist in every family throughout the world, and lots of times there's an artist deep down inside all of us as well. So grab your kids, your brothers, your sisters, your aunties, uncles and mums and dads and come and see how some of the best artists in Australia do what they do. We're in the beautiful city of Sydney this show to see an amazing artist, so come along and enjoy the incredible talent that Sydney has to offer.
Hello, Yelena.
Hello, Graham.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Oh,
Nice to see you.
we're going to spend the day with you creating one of your masterpieces.
Oh, sure. We are welcome.
Sounds good to me. Let's go and do it. Well, g'day viewers and welcome back to Colour in Your Life. Once again, we're going to go through and have an amazing day with a very, very talented lady, Yelena Dyumin. Thank you very much for having us in your studio, Yelena.
Yes.
It's a pleasure to be here. Yelena is of Russian descendancy and
That's
was
right.
actually trained. She has a wonderfully extensive history as far as her art career is concerned from Omsk, University of Omsk, or the Art Institute there.
Yes,
And you
Fine
also,
Art University.
Yeah, and you also were in Moscow as well.
Yes.
And you're also a lecturer for 14 years on art.
14 years on art.
That's
yes.
amazing. I mean, so you've really got an extensive background in art for a long, long time. Just incredible. Very, very successful artist. Yelena is in a number of other places throughout the world. She's actually just completed an exhibition in Taipei in Taiwan. People love her work that much that they come after her and they buy her work simply because of the fact that she's so good at what she does. But we're going to go through the process today of creating one of Yelena's wonderful pieces, and I think that there is a lot of influence from the Eastern and Western flavour of your work, and a lot of figurative and humanitarian type of aspects about what you do.
Yes. Of course, it's influence of all my previous life
Yeah.
in Russian. Some picture I can show you, it's influence of Russian folk.
Yes, absolutely.
Even, for example, this Russian matryoshkas, it's you say babushka,
Babushka.
but in Russian it's matryoshka.
Oh, okay.
Matryoshka, yes.
Really diverse artist as well. You know, you're very multi-talented in a number of different disciplines. We're going to show those pictures as we go through the show today as well, and then talk more about Yelena's influence, her emotions towards what she does. But today we're going to start on one of these pieces, and it's really, really beautiful stuff. And so come along for the ride with us, and we'll let you set up and we'll get stuck into this painting then.
Okay.
Sounds great, sounds great. Come
Okay.
along. All right, well, this is going to be a pretty fascinating journey today with a very, very, very interesting lady. Now, before we start, always, what type of canvas? Do you actually just buy your canvases from the store?
Yes, I buy canvas, stretch canvas.
Okay.
And I like the texture.
And a lot of times, people will put down various backgrounds. Now, we're going to screen in some of the other backgrounds and pictures that Yelena does, where you can see that she actually uses some of the techniques, funnily enough, that I have used too. I wasn't aware.
right.
I wasn't aware until we actually met that you actually did that, of course. But they're just great techniques where you can actually get this winding emotion with the paint. I think it's really, really cool. But from this one here, you're going to create more so one of your iconic pictures,
Yes,
with a very figurative sense about
Figurative, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Where do we go from here then? What are you going to do?
I imagine the composition already. I know what I'm doing, what I'm painting, what will be in the last stage. So it will be figurative, as you say. So I begin to mix the paints, and then I already imagine that my figure will be located almost in the middle of the canvas. So, and I put the basic color for face. It's little bit goes left
Like so?
left side, yes, It's very, very basic color, and I use the big enough brush.
Okay. And a lot of your work, Yelena, and this is the special part about what Yelena does, is this comes from the head and the heart. A lot of artists use reference work, but you simply paint from your imagination, don't you?
It's my imagination. My inspiration comes from all my life,
Yeah.
and born in my head,
Yeah.
and in my heart.
Sure.
I find the place for the first face.
Sure.
So I have two faces.
You're going to do two faces,
Two
all right?
figures, not the second one.
Yeah.
It's not a human figure.
Yeah.
It's a little bit
It's
little bit strange.
A little bit strange. This is the imagination coming into
It's
it.
in imagination.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly right. Okay. Usually I don't do the sketch with a pencil.
Sure. You just do it straight with the brush.
Yes, because I know everything
Yeah.
what I want to do.
All right, so you've put your base colours down now for your characters. Now, you said you want to put the hair in, is that correct?
Yes, as you can see in my previous pictures, the proportions of the figures, it's distracting. It's not the real proportion. For example, the neck is too thin and too long, and maybe movement of of the neck is not the real, but it's the character of my heroes.
Sure, sure.
So I begin to do the basic color for hair, the basic.
So you're just really putting down a lot of base colours.
Base color, because the details will be next stage.
Sure.
I like details, and I show you how I create the details. Now I'm doing the depth of the shade of the color, the depth of the hairs, and for the right side as well.
Yes.
We imagine that light goes from left and from the top.
Okay.
So it's...
And that's always very important, I mean, the source of your light.
Yes.
Also, Yelena has her own published book as well, by the way, guys. So, The Art of Yelena Drunman, which is just beautiful. But just using one of these examples here, you can actually see that you've got apples.
You're right.
In a number of your pictures, and also bird cages, and a lot of what you do. So can you tell me what the apples and the bird cages actually mean?
Yeah, sure. The apples, especially the green apple, it's my favorite symbol, my first and favorite symbol, because as you can see, I use it very often. It means, for me, the green apple, it's the fresh, it's beginning of the life, it's Adam and Eve.
Yeah.
It's beginning of everything.
Okay.
It's the apple.
And what about the cages? What do they represent? You've got the apple in the cage, you've got the bird in the cage. What does the cage represent as well?
Okay, it's the freedom.
Sure.
It's freedom for us, for people, for everyone. But the cages, it means some restriction of our freedom. For example, if you can see here the cages.
Yes.
And the butterflies.
Yes.
In another pictures you can see the birds. Our life, we can't do everything what we want to do, for example.
Yes.
The bird and, for example, the butterflies, it symbolized the freedom.
Okay.
For me.
Yes.
The freedom, I can say that...
Yeah, well, it sort of symbolises, in a sense, funnily enough, of how important the symbology is. All right, well, let's get back to what we're doing, and then we'll see how we can create this particular symbol as we go through.
Yeah, two figures presents. One of is the human, the woman, and another one is the person from landscape, from nature.
Yes.
So it is the body of the big fish with human face that can say something, that can talk. I'm doing the transition from light color to the shade.
But you're doing a magnificent job, by the way.
Thank you, Graham. People begin to look at my picture from the distance, and then they saw the small details, fine details, and they approach to the pictures, and they
see everything
looking
in there
at
then.
yes,
Yeah,
it's
that's
small details. Now I am using water
Okay.
because I begin to create, to develop the character of my figure.
Okay.
For example, this face.
Do you ever use your finger at all?
Sometimes,
Yes, yeah.
yes, I use the finger as well.
Yeah.
Now, the shade, the place for eye.
Okay.
For eye. This.
Beautiful.
Another one.
Oh, lovely.
Another one. So this part of the face will be in darker
Oh, yes, I see.
shade.
I see. And then you just keep using that water.
Yes,
So
every
more
time.
water, it's just balancing the water with the pigment, isn't it?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. So I do it a little bit darker edges of nose and eyebrow.
Yes. So I know that you've actually been in a number of exhibitions as well.
Yes.
Your work's collected by people all over the world. Yeah, and
It was
yeah,
a few exhibitions this year, and
Yeah. Well, obviously the one that
past.
you did in Taiwan, which was great, wasn't it?
oh, it was great.
Yeah.
It was. I was so happy
Yeah.
that the big Taiwan show bought 12 pictures, 12 pieces of my collection.
When you can sell work to an exhibition without actually having to turn up to it, that's pretty great.
Oh, it's so
Yeah.
great.
But you can just see that face starting to come in there. It's just beautiful. Yeah, it's just this.
It's like only shades, and maybe I can do it a little bit deeper,
Yeah.
the deeper shade.
Which artists you feel have influenced you in your work? Any stand out?
I love Klimt.
Klimt?
So much. It's my favorite artist.
Gustav Klimt.
Gustav Klimt.
Yes.
I like Modigliani.
Okay.
I like a lot of, but
But Klimt, I mean, he's one of my
Klimt
favorites.
is my favorite.
Yeah.
One of my favorite.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think he liked details as well, like me.
Yeah, but he would block large pieces of colour in too, and then obviously put the detail
The
in as well.
details,
Yeah.
yes.
Which is important.
It's so interesting to see these pictures closer.
Yes.
Now I can show you just a little bit to create the eye.
Beautiful. That'd be wonderful.
Sight of the
Yes.
and
The window to the soul.
yes. So I find the place
Yep.
for the lady, for the eye.
Okay.
So
Beautiful.
find the places.
And you really
We
once
can
again.
leave it like this. It will be a Japanese lady.
Yeah, there you go.
So
Doesn't matter how many shows I've done, I always find unbelievable fascination in watching people look like it's incredible.
okay, the pupil.
The pupil.
Pupil.
And that's right now what I am as a pupil.
Pupil. So now we have to do the white.
White of the eye.
The white.
And the white goes on just perfectly okay across the top of that. And this is just straight pigment. This is a lot thicker.
Yes,
Paints a lot
it's
thicker,
it's thicker now.
Yeah.
It's yeah, a lot
Look at that.
color.
Well, what we might do is, because this is probably going to take a while for Yelena to paint, is that we'll duck away and let her work on this for a little while, and we'll come back when she's a little bit more ahead of where she is now, and we'll continue to go through this journey with her. Okay, that's amazing. You've sort of really made some great progress there. So, in saying all of that, what do we do now?
Okay, now when we almost do the character of faces, now I need to do the woman dress.
Okay, so
Woman dress. It will be a little bit different technique.
Okay.
I would like to show you now.
Okay, what are we going to do? This sounds exciting.
We have to I put this canvas
Yeah.
flat,
Oh, okay.
horizontal.
Okay.
Okay, I begin to paint the dress. I use these bottles. For example, I begin to use this. I squeeze. You see? It's my favorite, one of my favorite technique.
So how many colours would you put down with something like that?
4,
Okay.
3, 4, 5.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's very Jackson Pollock.
It's fabulous. I like it so much. You can take another color.
Yeah.
You can squeeze more. You can do the big strokes. You can be very thin, very thin. You can do even the dots.
Oh, okay.
If you would like.
Just with the end of the bottle.
Now we can do another one.
Got
It's
some white.
fifth color or
No, just you can put as many colours on as you want, as far as I'm concerned.
Of course.
You're the creator.
Yes. We can see, even now we can see the dress.
Yeah.
We can see the skirt and more color.
All right, Yelena, this is obviously wet, so we've actually got to keep this pretty flat for a while, haven't we?
Yes.
What we might do, just so that the audience can have a look at what's going on, is we'll turn it round so that they can at least see where we're going with it. And then you're going to use those little squeeze bottles again,
Yes.
which is very cool, to start creating all of the little details in the area.
All small details,
Okay.
yes. For example, now I'm doing the scales.
Scales.
Begin to do the scales.
Ah, look at that.
Now I would like to paint the tail. I use the small bottles as well.
Yeah.
Small bottle. So it's very free.
It certainly
Very
is.
free movement. How you
I
want.
love that, don't you just love that?
And I use a few colors as well. Now I would like to do the collar.
Yeah, the collar,
Yes.
Okay. But you can see how this is just magically coming together with all of those base colours that are down there, and then actually, and you see the line that you get there, it's just so sharp and beautiful. It's great. I'm sure that there's a lot of people out there that have never seen this done before.
You can't do this line with the thin brush.
Yeah.
You can do the thin line, but it's
Take
not
it
will
forever.
be the texture.
Yeah. You won't get that texture in there.
Yeah.
will
It gives us a texture. Okay.
you? Wonderful.
Nearly done.
Here we have more scales.
More scales.
And you really, I suppose at the moment, you're just really building the character of the painting.
Small part what I like to do.
Yes.
I like to do these details. Now, if you keep going, finish the hair. So, the hair. Very free movement of hair.
It's something that I haven't experienced in many, many years. The free movement of hair.
Little bit curve.
What we're going to do is, because of the nature of acrylics, and they don't take too long to dry, unlike oils, we're going to let Yelena continue to work on this, and we're going to duck away. She's going to actually have to wait till this dries, so she's going to continue to do some work. If she puts it up, it'll run at the moment, and then we'll come back and go through some more techniques with her, but we'll see you shortly. You also teach as well.
Yes.
Yes. You teach, obviously your own students, but you teach in the area?
I teach here in 2 suburbs, in close to my place. It's on Bondi Junction, and another studio it's on Artaman.
Okay, so well, if anybody out there really wants to know about being taught by an incredibly talented woman, particularly in the Sydney metropolitan area, they can get in touch with Yelena at her website. If you want any information, you can come in and they can come in and see us as well at obviously colourinayourlife.com.au. But we'll let you finish those bubbles off.
Yes. I finished now the bubble. Now I have dry brush on without any water.
Yes.
It's turquoise in Russian, turquoise
What is it?
turquoise color, the color turquoise.
What do you call it in Russian?
Turquoise.
Turquoise?
Turquoise. Very simple. Turquoise color.
So are they bubbles or clouds to you? What would you call them?
Oh, for me, it was clouds, but
Okay.
for somebody,
Could be
it
bubbles.
could be bubbles because it could be under the sea, under the water.
Okay.
So
Well, I'm sort of
it
thinking
depends
with
of
a- with
your
a fish.
imagination.
Yeah. We've got a fish and we've got a woman. So.
Yes.
But it's great, and once again, looking at it, it's just wonderful symbolism. You know, it's not often that you see pictures represented like this. It looks great, it really does.
Okay. We nearly finished. So bubbles, clouds
Voila.
is ready.
Voila.
I think so. And maybe I can put some details on a sleeve.
Sure, if you like that.
Yes,
Absolutely.
we can do.
We'll put a
to
Russian
get it
sleeve there.
fresh. Russian,
Yeah.
Russian background. Every time it influenced on me, of course.
Yes.
Of course.
Well, Yelena, fabulous day.
Thank you.
An
thank you.
amazingly talented lady. Thank you so much for having us in
Thank you
here.
for coming. Thank you so much.
Incredible. I mean, Russian artists living in Australia, wonderful work, very expressive, so much emotion and symbolism, and you go through the process as we always do. Now remember, Yelena teaches as well, particularly in the Sydney CBD area, so if you want to get in touch with her, absolutely go to her website. And you can obviously see her work in our website as well at colorinyourlife.com.au. The importance of, particularly a teacher like yourself and some of the amazing artists that we have, is that the workshops, we will be doing workshops on an ongoing basis. If you want to know the knowledge, it's all well and good looking at a video or looking at a TV series, but I think a great way to interact with the knowledge of these people is to sit down with them and be able to literally, I mean, decades and decades and decades of experience that we've had, and we can impart that onto you guys as well. So stay in touch with us as well, get in touch with us. We can show you a whole bunch of things that you've probably never seen before. And our sponsors always, supporters, we obviously always want to thank them, growing all the time by a lot of people that are interested in what we're doing, but we'll leave it at that. Thank you so much, darling.
Thank you.
It was
Thank
a pleasure,
you so much,
absolutely,
Graham.
and you'll also be seeing definitely more of Yelena and ourselves as we go along. But as I always say, remember, make sure you put some colour in your life. We'll see you next time.
Bye,
guys. Bye.
Bye.
Mm-hmm.